Hello, welcome to Chess Tech, and I'm probably guessing you've read the title of my video. And yes, I have finally, after nearly a year of trying, got to 2100 Blitz on lichess, and yeah, it's been some journey, I can tell you. I want to say firstly, if this is the first video you've seen, I've been doing a series on trying to get to 2100. I was trying to get to 2000, then I managed to do that, and then I got to 2100, and that was hard. That was so much harder to get to 2100. Really, really hard. I found it. I don't know if it was just me making hard work of it, but basically, yeah, I don't think I'm any kind of amazing player or anything. I know there's loads of people out there who are better than me and have got to 21, 22, 2300 probably really easily, and are wondering what the big deal is. But for me, this was particularly difficult. And I just want to talk about a few things along the way which might help you achieve your online rating goals or even your real life rating goals. And I definitely think you might find these useful. As you can see by this graph, when I started back in 16, I did have one, like initially I sort of went quite high, quite close to 2000, and I never quite got it. 16 to 18, you know, I went up, and then I had like a little peak at 2000, and then I just sort of really collapsed down here for like a year and a half, and was just constantly at this sort of 1800 level. I couldn't even get over could barely get over 1900. It got really bad, and at some points I collapsed right under 1800. You can see I was always roughly around 1800, 1900, and then I just, something happened. I don't know what. You know, I changed openings, I stuck to openings, I changed time controls, I experimented with different things, and you can see here, since October last year, October, November, December, January, yeah, so like last 4 months, I just managed to maintain this level, and it was that, and that was what killed me, constantly getting so close. 2065 in the 70s, constantly getting in the 90s, and when you look and examine here how many times I got close to 2100, pretty crushing, you know. Okay, not super, but like within 15, 20 points, you know. That one, 2078. And what's interesting, the closer and closer I got, so I used to get into the late 2070s, and then I started getting into like 2080 would be like the target, and then it would be the 2090s, you know. So it was like went 2070s, then it went 2080s, then I was hitting the 2090s sometimes, and then I actually got to like 2098, I think, at one point was my best. I'm sure I got a 2098, and I just had to win one game, and I just collapsed again all the way back down to 2000 around here, and then I just kept going and going, and then it was yesterday this happened, and I was actually yesterday, where were we? Let's just go 31st January. Yeah, what was it yesterday? It was on the 3rd of, yeah. I basically I was around sort of mid 2000s, and there's this guy I played, is 2150. And I just played him a couple of times and beat him, and then I think I drew with him, and then I lost one, and then I just kept going. But we'll look at those games in a minute. And what I want to say is if you're trying to achieve your rating goal, there will be ups and downs. It won't just be a linear curve like at the beginning here. When you start off playing, you know, your initial rating, you just tend to sort of just go up. You know, you hit a peak, and then it will go back down probably. You know, and it's that's this bit here where you hit your peak quite quickly, I find, and then it probably applies to over the board as well, and then generally you sort of plateau a bit, I guess, and you've got to try and keep working and figure out what it is you've got to do to get to the next level. And during that time, going to be tough because you're going to make mistakes or learning new openings, or and you're going to probably have to go through a stage of getting worse before you can sort of build on it and get better. I kind of feel that's what I've done. I've had to realise about my own chess playing style and what suits me, when to stop playing. You know, I would say that basically, if you're if your sole aim is just to get the highest rating you can on lichess or any chess site, then you have to accept the fact that you just cannot keep playing, especially for like an older person. You know, if you're 35, 40, 50, 60-year-old person, you've only got so much mental energy. You're not 20, 25-year-old, 18-year-old. The brains are so, you know, you've just got so much energy. You know, it doesn't mean what I'm trying to say is that you're going to play 10, 20 games in a row, and basically what will happen, you just start to deteriorate and you'll lose, say, 3 or 4 in a row, you know, and then you'll just collapse, and that's fatigue. Haven't got the energy to completely just keep pulverizing and playing against good players at a good level over and over and over again, you know. And that's one of the things I realised, is knowing when to stop. When you've had a good run and you've, say, played 10 games, won 7, drawn a couple, lost 1, that's a good run, and chances are you will not, unless you're incredible, be able to keep going and just keep winning, because you're just going to lose. And then you'll lose a couple really close ones because you're not quite on it, because the person you're playing is fresh. You know, they just come online, you've been playing for an hour, you're just going to start losing. And that's when you've got to stop and go, well, I'm just going to play some bullet chess or something else, or take a break and come back tomorrow. And I didn't do that enough. I got to a point where I got like, I got so emotional. I was so distraught, not being able to get so close, within 20 or 30 points at some point, you know, within 5 points, you know, and not be able to do it. That it just drove me insane. It really did. I was grumpy. I was just really pissed off about it. And the most irritating thing I can tell you, the most crushing thing, is people beating you. I'd start playing somebody who was 2050, and by the end of it, they'd be 2100 plus, and I'd be like 2020. You see what I mean? I was actually helping people achieve my goal through my bad play. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but I don't know if you can, you know, that just in turn would just send me into more of a spiral of desperation, and I just start hacking, not thinking about openings, and getting destroyed really quickly in a game. And that would just carry on. So it is important to know when to stop, and so just leading up to it, I think a similar thing happened when I was trying to get to 2000, and I ended up just almost giving up. And that's what happened. I was almost just playing relaxed, casual blitz chess. You know, last night I was just playing a few games, and I think I started off, let's look, it was around, I was having quite a good run against 2100s, because the way I see it is, it's almost like to get to 2000, you got to beat the 1900s, you know, and to get to 2100, you got to beat the 2000s, obviously. And it's just you know, it's pretty obvious, but you don't want to be playing. In lichess is a bit naughty, because what it was doing, I noticed like an algorithm thing that would happen, and I'd get quite a rating, would be quite close, like mid 2000s, and then I'd beat you know, a couple of these guys in a row, and then I'd get like a 2100, and I'd beat him maybe, and then I'd get like a 1900 player, and I'd have to decide, really, I don't really want to play 1900s when you're like getting close to 2100, because if you lose, you take a hell of a hit. If you win, you don't get that much. But if you don't play, then lichess blocks you, and it says, you know, because you got to play every game. That's what they want. It's absolutely ridiculous rule. Anyway, won't go into that. and you get trapped. So you sort of have to wait for your moment and go back and try and keep playing these people. I have to keep trying playing people who are at least 2000 plus, well into the 2000s. You want like 2050s, 2030, 40, 50, 60s. Like you can see here, I don't really want to be playing 1900s. You can see my last run of games like leading up. There's barely anybody who's 1900 here. They're all 2000 plus players. So I'm always playing people who are around my rating. Of course, that means that because I'm not a grandmaster, I'm going to lose some of those games to those people and draw them at least, but as I had like a mini break and wasn't playing as intensely. I've been playing incredibly intensely up until about a couple of days ago. Like I've even been playing like 20 games a day, on and off on the phone or tablet here and there. Then I sort of had a break. It's almost like, and then I just had a moment where I was like uninterrupted last night and was feeling, I've got energy, had a good night's sleep. Everything sort of just came together, and obviously your opponent helps you. You need that somebody when you get close. Obviously, I was just thinking, like, what I'm chuffed about. You could cheat. You could easily. I was almost getting to what you could just go and get your friend to get a lichess account, play him 10 times, and there you go. You just got yourself, 30, 40 rating points. I'm sure it goes on, and I feel like, I'm not at all saying that lots of people do that. I'm saying that it's something that's impossible to detect. But I'm glad that I didn't. I don't know. I wouldn't have done that. It would have been like a really shit thing to live with. It's only a computer chess site, it's not like. But do you know what I mean? If you play chess or sport at any level, to have cheated, to have done it, it would have been horrific. And basically, so leading up, you can see I was having a good run. Like 2100 took this person down. These people that are good players. I only lost a couple of games. I was beginning to beat 2100s relatively easily. I'm not saying they were great games of chess or anything like that. And then we had this guy that came on. You can see 18 hours ago. So this guy here, and this is the game. You can see I had this nice run against him, 4.5 to half, and basically this is the person that took me over 2100. I was just playing Scandinavian, and he was just I don't know, he was a pretty good player. He's beating some strong players, and I would keep getting into this terrible position here. I mean, this really, it's like a losing position pretty much. Let's just get into the analysis board. It must have happened about 3 times, and let's have a look. Yeah, here. This is not good for me because he's going to take my bishop. I've forgotten to. I basically needed to make move my knight, bring my knight in, or make a space for my my bishop. Yeah, but I didn't do that. And what kept happening, as you can see here, the bishop gets pinned in a corner, the knight takes the bishop, and you've got this horrific problem where this pawn is so weak and can be attacked. But basically, he was slightly better in all these games, but he never quite seemed to be able to pull the trigger. And I just managed to slightly outplay him, and I think he just missed some things, and and basically it weren't glorious games. Here he's better, okay, but he gave me the just simple tactics, which is let me back in the game quite easily, and like went into an end game, a pawn down with a passed pawn, which was just madness, which was quite nice to convert. Why he gave up his bishop, I don't know. I mean, this is completely over in every possible way, as you can see. So we played our games, and yeah, they it was good. And I just sort of thought, right, I'm just going to play solid chess against this person, not go too crazy. And you can see I've done it again here, even though I'm not playing Scandinavian. I've allowed these pawns to come down and create this horrific position again. And I mean, he's absolutely unbelievable. He's +2 here, I mean, it must have been, I don't know. Look at this position. This is appalling. This is absolutely horrific for black. I mean, this is so bad. You could almost resign if this was an over the board game. I mean, it's terrible. Terrible. I thought my only hope is I've got to sack the exchange here for the pawns to try and free up my pieces. You know, I've got nothing. I did that, and that's actually worse. But I thought at least it gives me some kind of play. And his king's in the middle of the board. If I can somehow get my queen on dark square, you know. And I managed to create this this sort of just this tactic, which is just obviously threatening his rook here and threatening his knight. It's just wasting time really, and not. I don't think it's a really serious threat. But he doesn't play the combination right, and that allows me to win his queen with his blunder here. Check. I win his queen, which is pretty upsetting for him, I can imagine at this point now. He drops a piece, kind of collapses and resigns and gets a bit emotional. And that's the end of that game. Do you see what I mean? It's like I should have been slaughtered. I mean, I've been slaughtered so many times before with trying to play these sort of moves, trying to get out of those sort of positions by lesser players. How I get let off. So in this, I mean, this is a game where I think I was winning in this game. Yeah, -4. He's lost a piece in the opening. Basically, somehow I ended up. I mean, it's just horrific on my part. But I mean, I should have. Ironically, I should have won this one and drew it, and yet I got let off the others. You know, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. So in this position, completely winning for me on my piece up, but. It's tricky in a blitz because he's got these pawns here and he's trying to create something. But I think as soon as I open up the position here and just try and get my queen into it, exchanging queens basically allows me to just mop up and create this pass pawn, which I think is just too fast, and his rook can't stop it. I mean, like I say, it's not glorious chess. And basically, you know, we have this position here, but I should win this position, but I'm very short on time. You know, he hustled well, and I just had to go for the draw in the end. I think even here, I just ran out of time. You know, just didn't have time to mate him. And you know, to be fair, I played that so badly. It's one of those ones, you know, I didn't deserve to win it. And yeah, so that was my run against this guy. You know, 4 wins and a draw, and that's basically what took me over the 2100. You know, and I would say that. So yeah, you can see 2 wins, 1 loss. So 13 wins, 1 draw, 12 losses. My goodness me, that's interesting. Oh, it's bullet game, sorry, blitz game. Yeah, I was going to say, how did I do that? Yeah, so I'm enjoying my 2100 rating. It was a bit sad. I'm not going to play any blitz for a minute. I'm just going to think about what I'm going to do next challenge. So 12 blitz games yesterday. I won 8, drew 1, only lost 3, which is pretty good. And I was just saying that earlier in the video. That's the sort of time where you would go, right, I've made 37 points here. Why do I want to go and blow that? You know, it's like, you know, that's what you got to do. You can see down here it's in horrific. Lost 20, lost 5, lost 6. We can go back, and some bad days as well. It's just the same when you're playing badly, you know, when to stop. You know, your first loss is your best loss. They say in business, you know. But you know, I used to say you started at 2000 and then you ended up getting back, going all the way down to 1950, and you're upset, and you keep playing. You get up to 1998 or something like that, and you keep thinking, I'm going to stop playing when I get my 2000 rating back, but you never will, and you just keep losing. And you know, now I feel like now I can let go a bit more and go, well, all right, I'm 1998. I didn't get back to 2000. Let's play again tomorrow. Whereas 10 years ago, I would have kept playing bullet. I would have gone nuts and just kept playing until I got my rating and ended up in more of a vicious circle. Would have been 4 AM. But the question is what are we going to do? So can I get? Obviously, the next goal will be 2200, but I don't know whether to. I don't know what to do really. I feel a bit sad myself that I'm at a stage where I almost can't face playing any more Blitz because of the thought of going back under 2100. But it doesn't really matter in some ways because I've done it. But 2200 would be nice. That would be very nice to get to. I mean, I think in terms of when you look at the ratings of people, the real life players, you know, here on the leaderboard, and you see them and you compare them, like there's pretty inflated Blitz ratings, I would say. Well, I gave this guy here, is it this guy who was European Blitz champion? I don't know what his real Blitz rating is, but they're kind of they're quite Gatakamsky. Yeah, so I wonder what his real life Blitz rating is. We could check, couldn't we? I'll have a quick look. Let's have a look here. Gatakamsky fide. Okie dokie. Just going to bring his rating card over. So what is his Blitz rating? Okay, it's only 2650. So it is a bit overrated there. Let's have a look. If that is Gatakamsky, obviously, presumably it is. Anybody else we know there? Let's have a look here. I don't know the names of these people. This guy here. Is he overrated or underrated? That's the question. Let's have a look. Chess player. Alright, it's 2662. So, yeah. I mean, let's have a look at their rating progress. Are they up or down? Blitz orange, yeah, so it's around 2700 at some point. And on here, it's about 150 points overrated. So, yeah, you know, it's within 100 points, 150 points, I guess. You know, I think I've seen some people that are underrated as well. I did look at some. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that how close is lichess to your real rating in real life? You know, your over the board rating, but I mean, it's different. It's probably always going to be a bit inflated. So I suppose I'm only really around what I am in real life, really, which is about 1950, 2000 on a really good day. So I haven't really proved that I'm actually better than I ought to be, if that makes sense. A real improvement, like a serious achievement for me, somebody like me, would probably be to get to 2300 or something like that, or even 2200 would obviously be amazing. But I wonder how many title players are around that figure out of interest, you know, around 2300, or whether they're all the title players in real life like FMIMs and GMs are actually easily well over that. So yeah, my let's go back to talking about a strategy to achieve these ratings. What's this then? Your Blitz rating. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm just looking at something else here. The interesting weekly rating distribution. So there's 320,000 people. Okay, so how many? What does this mean? There's about 8,000 people that are around this level, but that's really interesting. Yeah, this is fascinating. Okay, so I was saying that the majority, obviously, in this lump here, but when we get down here, my goodness me, there's a tremendous drop off between 2100 and 2200, even almost a third, and then to 2300, it's literally That's amazing. So I hadn't actually looked at this before. Wow. Interesting. 75. So what we're saying is here, 1900 to 2000 is 1,000 players. I mean, it's obviously 1,000 less players, but to 2100 between 1900 is quite significant. The difference, 5,500 to just over 3,000. It's quite a lot less. Quite a lot of 1900 Blitz players. Then that's what we're saying. That's probably why the pairings, as I'm getting better, I want to play people with 2,000 obviously, but there's less of them. I want to play, and then when you get a 2,200, I want to play people that are 2,100, and there's even less of them. So God knows what it's like when you get down here, and you want to play people that are obviously, at least 2,300. I expect. It's incredible. There's only 11 people who are 2,800, but so what we can say is that that'd be amazing to be in the top 1,000, to be in the top 100 Blitz player on lichess. You got to be about 2,500 ish. It's incredible, but then you'd be an incredible chess player beyond belief. So yeah, well, that's interesting. So really, to get to this, to get to 2,200, so 2,000 people out of 319,000 Blitz players. Actually, tremendous amount of players in the 1,300 to 1,600 range. Incredible. Not many down here. Interesting. You don't even see these players a lot of the time. Well, I don't see them because I don't search for them. It's quite interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So, going back to online bots, the actual games and one strategy. One of the few things I realised to take home from this, so I am going to ramble a bit, is that I found one strategy I found worked for me is to you need to have an opening repertoire sorted out. Sorry, before that, maybe warming up with a couple of bullet games is quite good. 2 minute with a 1 second increment, something like that. We've got to use your brain, not too many, just a couple, just to get your eye in. Then go into playing your serious stuff, if you want quote marks. And then you need to make sure that your opening is you're going to play. What you're going to do is make sure that you know what you're doing is white and black against every opening response, but also that you. And what I would do is I would say I played the London system as white. I might play that 2 or 3 times in a row, and say I won 2 and lost 1, or 1-2 drew 1 or something. Then the next white I'd play the Reti, because what I would find was happen is that if you keep playing the same one over and over, I start to get lazy. Although you could think, oh well, yeah, but surely by knowing it more, you're going to see all the tactics and things. But I actually found for me, every time I need to change the opening every 3 or 4 games, and that will go for black as well. You might lose it when you change that opening, but actually I think I definitely think I was losing games because I was just playing the same opening constantly and being a really lazy shit and not even looking. And that was what was happening in that Indian. The guy I was playing, that Indian player, sounds like Anand, because I kept getting this horrific position here with this pawn, because I wasn't really focusing on the game very much. I don't think, because I just wanted to make the moves because I knew them. And I knew I could bash them out quickly, which is a dangerous thing against a half-decent player. You don't want to do that. So, yeah, that's it, really. I am going to think of a new goal, and maybe it will be 2200. Maybe I'll do 2200 with an increment or something like that this time instead of 3-minute blitz. I did do, I suppose it was about a third of my games were with an increment in that, so it was a bit of a mixture, but more with the 3-minute blitz. But yeah, I think I may do that. So go back to playing 3-minute 2 and see where we go with that, because that'll be a hell of an achievement, and also I think it's better for my chess as well. So that's it really. That's the end of this video on the 2100 Road to 2100 series. I hope you found it interesting and listened to my whining rants, and it was a very interesting thing to do in lots of ways, because I realised that to achieve a goal, it's never going to be anything that's worth achieving is going to be difficult. So I think that you shouldn't, be too hard on yourself and expect challenges along the way. And like is it Peter Thiel, entrepreneur, says, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. And I'll leave you with that thought. See you soon.